Greetings, true believers. This is Matt Patrick, and welcome to Toon-Quel Month, a sequel-based month where all through the month of June, I'll be looking over anything animation-related that contains a bunch of sequels in all shapes and sizes. But first, I had to finish my doctor's appointment.
Hello, I'm Dr. Feelmad, and it seems like everything's in order. Your physical and mental health are good enough for your future videos, but we need you to do a little survey before you go.
Why?
Well, sequels have seriously taken over Hollywood, and originality has grown very extinct lately because people either stop supporting or paying attention to them. We just want to make sure that if you're a sequel supporter, denier, or neutral.
I don't know, I have a video to shoot. I don't have time for this.
It'll be quick, I promise.
Okay.
Alright, question 1. Would you rather A. Play Indigo Park, or B. Watch Blood and Honey 2?
I don't like horror that much, but the first one has potential and originality.
A it is. Next, Kraven the Hunter, or Beyond the
Spider-Verse! Spider-Verse! Spider-Verse!
Looks like Kraven is still at 0. Question 3. Would you go see Wicked or Moana 2?
I'll go Barbenheimer on this. I pick both.
What? You can't choose both?
Why not?
Okay, that's fair. I was gonna do that anyway. Now, would you watch A. Season 2 of Fiona and Cake, or B. A Bluey ripoff?
Who will watch a ripoff and say no to a puppy like Bluey? Team A all the way.
Correct!
Wait, you said this was just a survey.
It is, but that last B is actually defective. Final question. If you were forced to review something, would you review A. Norm of the North, or B. Megamind versus the Doom Syndicate?
What? Really? Who would write something like that?
Well, remember, it's a test to see where do you stand on sequels.
Oh. Just start the review. We all know it's coming.
Oh no! For the love of Shrek, no! Yes, when it comes to bad anime movies of 2024, Megamind vs. the Doom Syndicate is so far, no competition necessary, the worst movie of the year. Okay, before I open this Pandora's box, I had to discuss the original Megamind movie first. Back in 2010, DreamWorks Animation made a movie that's meant to satirize the superhero genre like Superman, with a what-if scenario on what would happen if the supervillain defeated the hero. It was a decent hit and well-liked by critics and audiences, but over the years, Megamind earned a huge cult following and has grown to be one of DreamWorks' biggest movies to get a lot of internet memes like Shrek and B-Movie. Now, I have seen the movie a few times, and while I don't love the movie as much as everyone, I still like it for its funny humor, likable characters, and fun animation. But if you ever decide to make a list of DreamWorks sequels you actually want to see, chances are Megamind is one of those contenders. But
Oh, I wouldn't say free. More like under new management.
Yep, ever since the release of the trailer of Megamind vs. the Doom Syndicate, the public just got monkey's pawed because it did not turn out pretty. But the thing is, Jeffrey Katzenberg never wanted a Megamind 2 movie in the first place. Originally in 2011, Katzenberg stated there would be no sequel to some of their movie genre parodies such as Monsters vs. Aliens, Shark Tale, and of course, Megamind. But in 2022, it was announced that DreamWorks Animation will be making a Megamind spin-off series on Peacock called Megamind Rules, while the Doom Syndicate movie not only serves as a pilot to the TV show, but also a sequel to the original. And seeing how it got panned by critics, audiences, and especially fans of the first movie, I guess it's my turn to talk about what went wrong with Megamind's new adventure.
Welcome to another episode of The One Reviews. It's time to take a look at an idea that really made our favorite blue guy fall to his doom. This is Megamind vs. the Doom Syndicate.
The film is set literally 2 days after the events from the first film, where Megamind, not voiced by Will Ferrell, is still learning to become the new hero of Metro City. One day, he gets visited by a villainous group called the Doom Syndicate, who still believe he killed Metro Man and has full control of the city. So Megamind comes up with a plan that he has to keep pretending he's still a supervillain until he figures out how to take down these evildoers.
Well, I guess it's a good time today to address this, but this was not made by DreamWorks Animation, the movie studio.
Despite the internet calling it a sequel to Megamind and it's still under the DreamWorks Animation bell, this animation was made by DreamWorks Television Animation. So it's really no surprise why this is a significant downgrade to the theatrical version. However, that doesn't mean I'm going to give an excuse on this. I have seen many TV shows based on DreamWorks like Dragons and Legends of Awesomeness, and while they're not cinematic as the films they are based off, they are still good. Even Penguins of Madagascar, a cartoon 14 years older than Megamind TV, has a much better quality than this. Beginning with the designs, it's fine that they brought some of the old looks of Megamind and his friends, including some of the new characters, but then you have the extras where they feel like generic people with no unique features and look more like NPCs for something like a PlayStation 2 game. As it is a TV pilot, Metro City looks very generic no matter where Megamind goes. And while there are a few people running from the danger, the city looks awfully deserted except when Megamind's lair gets turned into a house party. They try to get some energy with the cartoony animation, but it can feel limited and the movements are pretty lazy. Not even the action scene can supply some entertainment even with some of Megamind's gadgets or the Doom Syndicate's powers. The main issue with the fight scene is that the effects feel unconvincing, like Behemoth's lava powers, 99 shadows, anything water related, and that tennis ball scene with Roxanne and Megamind.
So even if it was made for television animation, it looks really lazy and unfinished. Again, this movie would have been really honest if it called itself a pilot episode to a TV show instead of a pilot movie sequel based on a beloved 2010 classic movie. That I can deal with easily. However, even as a pilot, I don't feel very welcome to these new adventures Megamind and his friends are going on.
With a plot like this, you know exactly what type of story you had to deal with. Everyone, I give you the return of the liar reveal cliche. And Film 101, it's one of the worst cliches in storytelling because nothing good comes out to it in the end. I get Megamind is doing it for the sake of protecting himself and the city, but the problem is, this is supposed to be a sequel to Megamind. The blue fella that has all these cool gadgets like a brain-bot army, an invisible car, and a dehydration ray gun that can turn everyone into ice cubes. Yet he doesn't use any of that for the element of surprise. This is why it's worse than how the teaser trailer presented it, because Megamind can solve every problem with his toys, but doesn't use any of them until the end, just so he can learn the value of teamwork. And that's another problem why the movie failed and makes it awfully predictable. Throughout the running time, whenever Megamind is trying to plan his scheme to defeat the Doom Syndicate, all his friends seem to really hammer in the message that they need to be a team to save the day. But it ended up making the film much longer than it should, and it just adds into the giant mess to not just Megamind, but also Chum, Roxanne, Keiko, and more. The movie tried to add another message about everything changing in Metro City, but hardly anything really changed during the past 2 days. Also, they kinda already did that lesson from the first movie. The worst part about the follow-up as a TV pilot is that the jokes are terrible, filled with horrible puns and running gags.
By the way, this is not the kind of movie where it's so bad it's good. It's so boring. It was so boring, I even had to check the running time to see how far it was at because it was taking way too long to finish. But I just realized something. The real reason why this is the most hated type of pilot based on a movie is because Megamind vs. the Doom Syndicate doesn't feel like a superhero satire to anything. That was the true identity onto why everybody loved the original so much. Here though, they're not mocking anything related to superheroes, not even a subtle parody to Marvel or DC. I think they just rip off the climax of Age of Ultron and that's it. And when you take away that identity, it makes the characters you remember unrecognizable and unfunny.
With a TV movie that feels like a terribly written episode, it results in making the characters either bland, annoying, or just plain unlikable. This also applies to the stars of the first movie. Let's begin by talking about the supervillain turned into a superhero, Megamind. As previously mentioned, he is still learning to be a hero after he defeated Titan. But when the Doom Syndicate escape from prison and still see him as their leader for world domination, he has to go through this lie that he's still evil while coming up with a plan to defeat the villains all by himself. But throughout the movie, he only cares about nobody but himself, who still think he doesn't need help when he really does. In fact, even when he says he's a lone wolf, he does receive help anyway from either Roxanne or his brain bots during the lie. The worst part about him is that he's just too egotistical. He can be arrogant, but not give up his minions for his own belief arrogant, which makes him an unlikable hero than a love-to-hate kind of villain. There's Roxanne, who acts more like the voice of reason and possible love interest of Megamind that has to remind him about teamwork and wants more to her life than being a news reporter. And then there's Minion. Oh, I'm sorry, Old Chum. Yeah, they changed his name because of a cease and desist order from a fictional fast food character called Mr. Minion. When really, they changed his name to avoid confusion from Despicable Me minions. First off, Minion is not a copyrighted nor trademark name. Second, Universal owns Megamind and Despicable Me, so there's really no point for that cease and desist joke. And thirdly, last time I checked, all the minions from Despicable Me have their own names, like Bob. Nobody is going to confuse a fish in a gorilla mech suit with a bunch of yellow beans. Anyways, his character that he wants to be known as Megamind's sidekick, but he actually appears less on screen and now works at a crummy bar to fight a new boss. And that's where sidekick number 2 comes in, Keiko. She is Megamind's #1 fan and president of the fan base who has over 1 million followers on her social media for Megamind content. And get this, her social media influencing skills and powers just so happen to get Megamind out of trouble. I find that very hard to believe. Keep in mind, the Megamind fan club just occurred 2 days from the 2010 original. I've seen Call Girl's powers from South Park to be more consistent than this timeline. All the other new characters aren't good either due to their unfunny jokes, or they are just one-dimensional. Like the Mayor of Metro City is the mayor that can't really do anything by himself or lead his people. The Go Fish Gang are a bunch of guys in fish costumes that just serve as obstacles. And then there are the Doom Syndicate members, consisting of Lady Doppler, Pierre Pressure, Behemoth, and Nighty Night. As supervillains, they are the most incompetent and unthreatening bad guys ever seen in any anime superhero movie. They are so gullible and oblivious to Megamind being a real superhero, and they always fight each other over who should be the new leader. Even as individuals, they don't give out anything enjoyable or funny. Behemoth is just the big strong guy who is completely dumb as a brick. Nighty Night is the dark figure that doesn't want to show his soft side. And Pierre Pressure is the evil mind with hypnotic power. The only member that seems to catch on and feels the closest to being a supervillain character is Lady Doppler. She's the only one that's been catching on to Megamind being no longer a villain, and she used to be a weather reporter before she used her powers for evil and has a small rivalry against Roxanne.
And come to think of it, why doesn't Megamind or Roxanne actually talk to Metro Man? Yes, he has to continue faking he's dead like the original, but they already know that he's still alive. Couldn't they at least call him for some training or wisdom like how Superman gets advice from his hologram dad? But no, they'd rather have a montage of the gang going on a shopping spree at some random mall for the ending. Because when you think of Megamind, you think of malls. But all that I can think of is, I didn't expect this pilot and or movie to be this really bad.
Megamind vs. the Doom Syndicate takes away what everybody loves and enjoys from the original 2010 movie and turns it into an awful superhero comedy. Even as a TV pilot, it still feels unwelcoming with cheap-looking animation, unlikable or generic characters, and the writing is an absolute joke than any of the jokes in the movie. We already know the answer I'm going to say. Skip this movie and only stick the one and only original Megamind movie. This particular sequel's sole purpose is to just promote the Megamind TV show for the sake of capitalizing the franchise for money, and it did not do a good job with it at all. So it's no surprise why I have no plans to watching Megamind Rules after watching this film. I can definitely see why Gru and his minions won the battle. I'm going to give Megamind, the TV movie and or sequel, an F, and I'm definitely dropping it into the flames of failure. This quote-unquote follow-up movie is the perfect example of what we should really be careful of what we wish for.
I'm Matt Patrick, and Toon-Quel Month has just begun.
Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this, check out these other videos, or feel free to like, comment, and subscribe for more upcoming reviews and other projects. I'll see you soon.